Welcome back to Homestead Aquarius. Today, my walking stick and my bucket and me, we've got a job to do. I'm going to tell you about a few things. I'm going to tell you about this tree right here first off. A little bit about its story. Now, I was out here yesterday filming a video, actually this one, but it went long, real long, because there's, a lot of yapping to do when talking about these things. So I think what I'm going to do is break it up into 3 or 4 different shorter videos. Look at this. It is amazing to me, the diversity of nature and how beautiful things are. Look at that wind moving through the willows. Isn't that nice? I love this tree. This is one of my success stories here. Now, willows can make you feel like a hero. They really can. If you want to get started in growing trees and propagating them, you get yourself a willow tree, and they'll make you feel good because they are very strong trees, very strong. They want to live. In fact, the willow is used as a rooting hormone. It's where aspirin comes from. Most people know that. Yeah, willows, weeping willows. Now, I'm going to tell you some information, a little bit about the willow tree, in particular weeping willows. If there's in permaculture, in that mode of gardening and lifestyle, you really pay attention to what the plants and the animals do on their own naturally, okay, and what particular niche they fill in nature, what they do, what they love to do on their own without having to be forced. That's important in life, very important in permaculture. Now, willows, in addition to being a beautiful tree, you can find these a lot of times in city parks. You can find these at homesteads and farms, and a lot of times you can find them right around the water. Now, the park planters, they know what they're doing whenever they plant a willow tree, and certainly the older farmers do too. You see, a willow tree will take up every bit of waste material from your animals that can possibly be taken. What will kill another type of tree, a willow will eat all of it, take it up and grow from it and ask for more. It's hard to ask for anything else, right? So if you've got a pond and you keep ducks or you've got geese, you know how messy they are. Now, there's lots of concerns about excess nitrogen being washed off into the watershed. Well, here is a permaculture solution. Here is a natural solution to some of the problems that we have with nitrogen runoff. If you've got a farm and you're concerned with the runoff from your animals, you plant yourself some willows downstream. There'll be an army, a hungry army, to take up all of that extra nitrogen. Guarantee it. That's one reason why the city planners, when they make these city parks, they know there's going to be ducks and geese out there like crazy, and they'll plant these next to them. That gives the animals some shelter to go to, some shade from the sun, and also soaks up all that wonderful nitrogen. Now, it doesn't take much to propagate a willow tree, okay? Not much at all. You get yourself some new growth. New growth is easiest on all of them. All right, get you a branch. I'll do some of this later to show you how. Get you a little branch, cut it off, scrape a little bark off, get it in some water. I'm going to show you some little tricks on how to do that later on in as we go. It's getting a little bit late to start trees, but a willow probably just doesn't care too much. They'll sprout roots immediately. Now, here's the old man talking about stuff, right? This is one of my success stories. Story behind this is I'm at my neighbor's house right now. I was in a live stream the other day, and the subject came up of having to move and leaving behind all of the work that had been done. And certainly in our individual lives, that's traumatic. You know, you hate to lose that, start again. But if you're doing things in the right way and your mind is in the right way, okay, isn't that our mission? Isn't it our mission to leave things better than what we found them in? Certainly I think so. So that when you leave a place, it's better for the next people. Certainly we will all do that in life. We will all leave every bit of things behind in this world as we leave. Even the cars that go by. Yeah. So, my neighbors, a long time ago, this tree wasn't here. This tree wasn't here. I'll show you where it started off, okay? This tree is the daughter of one that lives right here. Do you see it? Oh, it's not there anymore. The only thing that's left of the original tree is this fence post. Several decades ago, the mom and the dad that lived here, and the daughter, they had a young daughter, they went to one of the events where you can get free trees. And from that trip, they brought home a little tiny twig of a tree. It was a willow tree. And it was so spindly it needed the support of that fence post. Well, that tree took root, and here where I'm at is a very, very wet spot of the property. There's a creek that runs right here. See that little creek down in here? Yeah. All of this is at the low spot of the property. Oh, it stays wet year-round. A lot of shade over here. But that willow tree grew up to be huge. It got really big. And it was beautiful. Beautiful tree. But the size of it being so huge, it had something that caused it some problems, okay? Because the water is just below the surface, the roots spread out. They spread way out, but they didn't go deep down. They didn't need to. They did not need to. And we're in the South. We had some tornadoes to come through. And one tornado kind of messed it up a little bit. The next tornado that came through took it completely down, knocked it over. The big network of roots that spread out wasn't enough to keep it from tipping over. It needed deeper root structure. So that tree could not be saved. Now, it laid down right here in this wood pile. Right here, the wood pile wasn't here, but it laid down here and was just dying. Now, it did have things that were surviving. Little branches shooting up from the trunk, you know, were still going. Well, the family moved, okay? They were in the process of moving soon after that tree came down. And it was very sad because this tree had been with them for a long time. And I helped them out, and I started several new trees from that. Gave many of those willow trees away. We planted another one right there. We planted the one that I showed you to begin with. There's several of them. Several of them went out to neighbors and other people that know these folks. They moved far away. And with them they took two of the daughter plants, the daughter trees, to start out with. They took a few more trees that I had started. So what's kind of the point with this? The point is that the willow trees are a wonderful thing to have. But what's really important, along with you propagating and cultivating your trees and your plants, also cultivate the sense within yourself of doing things that will outlive you, and sharing. These are the good things. Me starting trees for them, they were so happy. They knew that they didn't really lose the tree at all. It was still with them. So I guess that's my message with this part of it. You can see why now I decided to break this up. A little long, right? A little longer than a lot of people want to listen. So if you have listened, I appreciate you very much, and I hope that this little message of the willow tree resonates with you, and I hope it cultivates the sense of doing these things, helping one another, doing good things that outlive you. When you leave a place, leave it better than you found it, and that's going to make the world better. Certainly these years that we've got coming ahead of us can be a little difficult, and I think that things that matter like that will really help. Anyhow, y'all be good. I'm going to go ahead and end this, and I'm going to start filming another one about another tree. Y'all be good.